You want to save? Hold on a sec. Hey, Snake, have you ever seen Frankenstein?
No.
The scientist, Dr. Frankenstein, succeeds in creating a human being out of dead body parts. But his creation escapes from the laboratory and heads down to the nearby town. The creature is physically strong, but mentally he's like an innocent child. So his emotions drive him to kill people, and he doesn't even understand what he's doing. The scene where he's playing with flowers with a little girl by the side of a lake sent chills down my spine.
A classic tale about the dangers of rapid scientific progress. When human beings become too powerful, they lose their ability to think rationally.
Really makes you think, doesn't it? Especially nowadays.
Snake, I see you've recovered your weapons and equipment.
Now I can finally go on the offensive.
Time to pay Volgin back for what he did to you.
Yeah, and then some.
But first, you've got to destroy the Shagohod. The Shagohod is in the hangar in the main wing of the weapons lab. Go back to Groznyj Grad, make your way into the hangar, and destroy the Shagohod. You can get back into Groznyj Grad by going to the end of the cave behind the waterfall. Head back to Groznyj Grad. The Shagohod is in the hangar in the main wing of the weapons lab. Go back to Groznyj Grad, make your way into the hangar, and destroy the Shagohod. You can get back into Groznyj Grad by going to the end of the cave behind the waterfall. Head back to Groznyj Grad. Huh? Snake, take a look in your backpack.
What the? My food's gone. Major, what the hell is going on here?
Don't ask me, ask Eva.
Eva!
That idea Sokolov had of planting C3 on the liquid fuel tanks. Not a bad idea. The fuel he was referring to is probably UDMH, unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine. It's highly flammable but difficult to handle. If you can blow it all up at once with C3, it'll take the entire weapons lab with it, no doubt. But that's only if you manage to plant the C3 in the right place on each tank. So don't screw it up. Your field uniform is not just a set of threads to wear. To get the max effect out of your camouflage, you gotta correspond with your environment. So no matter where you are, make sure to choose a camo pattern that lets you blend in.
The Cynthia that Eva mentioned was a famous lady spy who worked for Britain during the Second World War. Her real name was Amy Elizabeth Thorpe. She was a lovely, intelligent woman, and she used those charms as a weapon to extract numerous secrets from the enemy. They say her most brilliant achievement was getting the French Vichy government's naval ciphers. But don't let yourself be taken in by Eva's charms.
I'll be careful.
I'll be your eyes. Makes me want to cry.
Why's that?
Reminds me of something a certain spy once said. His name was Oleg Penkovsky, a Western spy who worked inside Groznyj. He was arrested by the KGB and executed last year. They say he sent a letter to the DCI at the time saying, "I must remain on this front line in order to be your eyes and ears." His code name was Hero.
A hero whose name will never be known.
Yes. That's the world we live in.
silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, thinking of. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
You want to save? Hold on a sec. Snake, have you seen Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein?
No.
Abbott and Costello play delivery men who have to deliver a box to a spooky mansion. But what they don't know is that inside the box are Frankenstein and Wolfman. Then Dracula shows up and they get chased around by the monsters. It's a comedy with an all-star monster cast.
Sometimes tragedy can be funny.
Snake, you've got to destroy the Shagohod. It's located in the hangar in the main wing of the weapons lab. To get into the hangar, use the door just inside the main wing as you enter it from the second floor of the east wing. Start out by heading to the east wing of the weapons lab. Snake, the Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. Use it to put enemies to sleep without harming them. The speed with which the tranquilizer takes effect depends on the point of impact on the enemy. If a target is hit on the arm or leg, the tranquilizer won't take effect immediately, but a target hit on the head will drop like a fly. If you want to take an enemy out in a flash, aim for the head.
The Shagohod is in the hangar of the main wing of the weapons lab. You can get into the hangar through the door located at the entrance to the main wing on the second floor of the east wing. Hurry!
Eva, didn't you take a picture of me when I was about to leave the Waterfall cave?
Oh, that's a button-shaped hidden camera developed by the KGB. I use it to take pictures of the fortress and the Shagohod.
That's not what I wanted to know. Why did you take a picture of me?
Because I wanted a picture of you. If I told you why, would you believe me anyway? Snake, they know you disguised yourself as Rykov to get in last time. And besides, you lost the hat, so I don't think the disguise is going to work anymore. The only way for you to sneak into the east wing of the weapons lab is through the entrance. Speaking of which, I sometimes see trucks going in and out through there. If you can sneak onto one of those trucks somehow...
The main wing hangar, huh?
Snake, I see you've managed to sneak into the hangar.
Yeah, the Shagohod's in here.
The completed Phase 2 Shagohod represents a grave threat to the West. We can't allow it to be mass-produced. You've got to destroy it.
Eva's got the data on the Shagohod. Do you think that's safe?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say it's safe, but Khrushchev is a shrewd leader. I can't imagine he'd use it for anything other than deterrence. Volgin, however, is a different story. He's planning to use the Shagohod to turn the Cold War into a blazing hot one. We can't let him have it.
Agreed.
That leaves just one more mission for you to carry out.
The boss.
Exactly. For now, just focus on destroying the Shagohod.
Yes, sir.
I'll let Sigint fill you in on how to destroy it.
Yo, like Eva was saying, if you're looking to blow the whole place sky high, the best way is to take out those liquid fuel tanks with the C3. You know there's 4 tanks in there, right? You have to put C3 on all 4 of them. To plan a C3 charge, all you gotta do is equip the C3 and press the weapon button while standing in front of a tank.
Just like TNT.
But make sure you don't plant it in the wrong place. You barely got enough C3 as it is, right?
Good point. I'll make sure not to plant it anywhere else.
Good, man. And be careful. Liquid fuel has a nasty habit of going off at the slightest shock. So don't go using any heavy firepower near the tanks unless you're aiming to get yourself barbecued.
I'll keep that in mind.
The C3 charges all have to go off at once if you want to bring down the hangar in one fell swoop. So if I were you, I'd wait until after you plant the last charge to start the timer mechanism.
All right. I'll make sure I finish planting all 4 charges before I start the timer.
Once the timer's set, you've got 20 minutes until it explodes, right? So make sure you get your ass out of that place by then. I think that's about all I've got. The rest is up to you. Good luck, pal.
We're counting on you, Snake.
You want to save? Hold on a sec. Snake, have you seen The Incredible Shrinking Man? It's about this guy whose body starts shrinking after he's exposed to a combination of radiation and insecticide. After a while, he's being stalked by tiny spiders and his pet cat. Imagine that, Snake. The guy's body just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
I thought you were a doctor.
Yeah, so?
So how can you get so excited about a story you know could never happen in real life?
Whether I'm a doctor or not has nothing to do with it. It's a movie. You can't expect it to follow the same rules as real life, can you? It's the same no matter who you are. Movies are fun because they take you away from your everyday life.
Even though they're not real.
Because they're not real. You need to loosen up, Snake.
Yeah, maybe.
Although in your case, reality might be more exciting than the movies.
Snake, your job is to plant the C3 charges on the liquid fuel tanks. There are 4 liquid fuel tanks. You need to place a C3 charge on each of them. The tanks should all be located close to the Shagohod. Snake, be careful when you approach the liquid fuel tanks. Apparently, even the smallest disturbance will cause them to explode. Don't use firearms near the tanks.
Snake, what are you doing?
I'm in a box.
A cardboard box? Why are you...
I don't know, I was just looking at it, and suddenly I got this irresistible urge to get inside. No, not just an urge. More than that. It was my destiny to be here, in the box.
Destiny?
Yeah, and then when I put it on, I suddenly got this feeling of inner peace. I can't put it into words. I feel safe. Like this is where I was meant to be. Like I'd found the key to true happiness.
Uh-huh.
Does any of that make sense?
Not even a little.
You should come inside the box. Then you'll know what I mean.
Man, I don't want to know what you mean. Between you and Paramedic, is everyone but me that is hooked up with the Major Strange?
Ah.
Yeah, well, anyway, I suppose even that dumbass box might make a decent disguise if you wear it inside a building. Pattern clothing.
It looks like you made it inside the hangar, huh? Plant the C3 charges on the liquid fuel tanks. There are 4 tanks in all. If one of the C3 charges you planted is dismantled by the enemy, your mission is over. Try to plant the C3 someplace out of the way where it won't be seen. If it looks like an enemy is about to find a charge, take him down immediately. And if the enemy sees you planting the C3, show's over, folks. So don't plant the charges in alert phase. Got it? Once you've finished planting C3 on all 4 tanks, turn the timer on. When the count reaches 0, all of the C3 charges will explode at once. Once the timer has started, there's no way to stop it. Make sure you're out of there by the time it reaches 0. Got it? The maintenance crew in charge of getting the Shagohod ready is in the hangar. You don't want them to see you any more than you want the guards to, so keep an eye out for them. Plant the C3 charges on the liquid fuel tanks. There are 4 tanks in all.
Got some C3, I see. C3 is a type of plastic explosive developed in the West for special operations use following World War II. It's composed of 77% RDX and 23% moldable plastic. Like Eva was saying, you can mold it into different shapes like clay. C3 is less volatile than TNT, so a little heat or shock won't be enough to set it off. It's extremely easy to handle and highly effective. Looks like Eva set up the detonators with a special timer mechanism.
Yeah, she made it so that when the timer hits 0, all 4 charges will detonate at the same time.
Did she now? Then you better wait until you plant all 4 charges on the liquid fuel tanks before you start the timer. And remember, you only have enough C3 to do the job. Don't go sticking that stuff anywhere but the liquid fuel tanks in the hangar. Got it?
Got it.
To plant a C3 charge on a tank, equip the C3 and press the weapon button when you're next to the tank. Make sure they're well placed.
Snake, your job is to plant the C3 charges on the liquid fuel tanks. There are 4 liquid fuel tanks. You need to place a C3 charge on each of them. The tanks should all be located close to the Shagohod. You've got 3 more tanks to plant C3 on.
I see you're wearing the olive drab uniform. Olive drab, or OD for short, is the standard battle uniform for GIs. It's a solid color outfit with no camouflage pattern, so naturally it's not going to be much use as camouflage. I'd change it to something else as soon as possible if I were you.
You've planted 1 C3 charge. That leaves 3 more.
How are things on your end?
I'm planting the C3 on the rail bridge now. Don't screw up, okay?
Hey, not a problem.
Snake,
Eva,
I finished planting the bomb on the rail bridge. If we get rid of the bridge, the enemy won't be able to follow us. That should at least buy us some time. I've also set up the escape route. How are things going on your end?
I just finished planting the second charge. Give me a little more time.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you at the bridge.
Snake, your job is to plant the C3 charges on the liquid fuel tanks. There are 4 liquid fuel tanks. You need to place a C3 charge on each of them. The tanks should all be located close to the Shagohod. You've still got 2 more tanks to plant C3 on. Hurry! Snake, your job is to plant the C3 charges on the liquid fuel tanks. There are 4 liquid fuel tanks. You need to place a C3 charge on each of them. The tanks should all be located close to the Shagohod. 1 more tank remains. You're almost there.
Got you this time. Major, I finished planting the C3. I'm on my way out now.
Hurry, Snake. Is Eva taking care of the escape route?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
she can handle it.
She's been out of radio contact for some time now.
She'll come through. I know she will.
All right then, well hurry up and get out of there.